So the first of two live-action movies that is based on the worldwide phenomenon only known as Attack on Titan is officially in the books, and yours truly has seen it. It is directed by a wonderful filmmaker known as Shinji Higuchi. Let me start off, with just saying that he did a wonderful job with this movie. The writers did a wonderful job with this movie. The actors, I had my doubts. Not after watching this movie. Let me get back to the point real quick. Shinji Higuchi did such an amazing job with making the Titans so terrifying that literally every time they were on the screen or were about to be on the screen, my heart rate would start pounding. I would start breathing more heavily. I would actually be like, what's gonna happen? And that's fantastic because that's how I was in the anime. And to have that in live action and to actually have it be breathtaking and horrifying is marvelous to see. It's an eye candy. Trust me when I tell you that. I loved how the director took it to a whole new level. He didn't shy away from the blood. He did not. And that, to me, was one of the main things that hooked me on this movie immediately. He wanted you to understand these Titans, these are devilish creatures, and they do not give a fuck. They only want to eat you. That's it, and they get off on it. And that was perfectly done. Now, let me just tell you this. I love the anime. From start to finish. I loved it. There are a few plot twists that are fantastic in this movie that I will not spoil to you, and there are a few that I did not like. For example, major spoiler if you haven't seen the anime, minor spoiler for the movie. In the anime, Eren Yeager has hatred for the Titans because they killed his mother and because they killed all the people. And you understood that and you felt that because how beautifully it was done in the anime, how he saw his mother get murdered and eaten alive, how he tried to save her from the house collapsing on her. And seeing all the people die, that drove his hatred towards the Titans, and you felt that, you understood that. In this movie, minor spoiler, his parents died when he was a very little kid, so he's an orphan. And the only reason he hates the Titans is because they trapped humanity within these walls. Not a bad reason, but pathetic compared to the anime reason. Am I right? That brought down the character to me, like, man, Eren Yeager was such a fucking badass in the fucking anime, and here he doesn't even have a good enough reason to hate the Titans. You know what I mean? Like, it's something, maybe it's a little bit too picky, but to me it was just like, for a person who's seen the anime, it's kind of like, I get it, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? But Eren Yeager, to me, by the way, wasn't the star of the film. Mikasa's character was so well done. Like, honestly, she was the star of the movie, in my opinion. Without anything, I don't want to spoil anything concerning her character. I'm just going to tell you that she is such a badass. She is relatable. And she is so grounded that you will feel for the character more than for Eren Yeager. Which is quite a big thing. Now, excuse me. Japanese name. I even had to write it down. Shikishima? General Shikishima was also very well done, and I thought his relationship with Mikasa was also handled very well. Very, very well. And Shikishima said this to Eren Yeager in the movie. He said, "What do you call animals who hide behind gates from the wolves?" And that quote, and I was just like, huh. Now that's a very interesting quote about this movie. That is a very interesting quote about this movie. And it's obviously cattle, and Eren Yeager was like, no, I'm not that. I will never be that. And he told him, then fly. And I thought that was really cool. Again, the writing in this movie is just fantastic, as well as before in the movie, in early stages of the movie, there was a really interesting quote stated to a character. Again, I don't want to spoil, I'll just tell you the quote. It says, even paradise can become a prison if you notice the walls. Get it? People may be safe, but once they notice the walls, they notice that they're prisoners and they're cattle. Interesting. This movie has a very interesting writing cast who did a fantastic job with it. Again, when you notice the types, and you're like, I like what they did there. They grounded it out more, which is a fantastic thing. But back to the point of the movie. I also did not like the fact that it was so short. It was a great movie for an hour and 30 minutes, but I thought that it lacked at least 15 minutes of content. For example, if you already not show what happened between, if you take the approach of where Eren Yeager's parents died before, and he's an orphan, fine. But at least show us when he was training. At least show us that, because remember the omnidirectional gear that was fucked up and he actually did the balance on it and people were like amazed with it? That made him more of a badass. They didn't show that. They made up for it with other things in the movie, with the sort of, rivalry he has with the person, but still, I thought it could have been better handled. And I thought they should have showed, what happened after they escaped the outer walls into the inner walls, and how people were dying, how the food deficit was there, and all of the corruption and all that. They mention it and they kind of show it for a few seconds, but I thought if this movie had 15 to 20 more minutes, they could have done such a better job of making you understand what type of world this really is. They do a good job at it, but they could have done a great job at it. But again, that's just me being picky because I saw the anime. But if you've never seen the anime, this movie will captivate you and you will understand it in a great way. Now, let me just tell you this. The Titans looked incredible. The visual effects on them, and not all of them are CGI, were absolutely stunning. The Colossal Titan, even though he's in the movie for like 3 minutes, breathtaking. Literally, when you see the Colossal Titan, you're like, oh crap, and chills go up your spine. That, to me, was beautiful. Because the Colossal Titan is a very big part of this story, as well as the Armored Titan, but unfortunately we don't get to see him in the movie. In this movie, that's all I'm going to say. In this movie, we don't get to see the Armored Titan. But we do get to see quite a good of a glimpse of the Colossal Titan, and he is, again, magnificent. Truly magnificent. Honestly, this movie has very little bad things to say about it. I am just picky with it because I've seen the anime, and I just really wanted to see that in live action. But that's okay, because not everything has to be by the books. I'm fine with that. Overall, I don't want to go on rambling. I gave this movie a 7 out of 10. Very solid. Actually, you know what? 7.5 out of 10. It's a very great movie. Fantastic adaptation of the live action movie. Could have been better. Could have been better if it stayed true exactly to the anime. However, it doesn't have to. It's based on it. Maybe not even based. It's inspired by the anime, and kind of it's its own thing. Honestly, it's its own thing, and it's beautiful at that. You will get emotionally attached to the characters, you will feel for the characters, and that's a great thing. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you like my videos, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you don't like my videos, dislike it. Tell me what you think I can do better. But let me finish off with this. By the way, Shinji Higuchi, he's actually going to be directing a brand new reboot of the Japanese version of Godzilla, baby! Cannot wait for that. Just had to throw that in there. I totally forgot about that. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.